Thank you for staying tuned. It is still the conversation on Lagos television. Lagos, with its vast waterways, holds immense potential to ease road congestion and redefine urban mobility. But are we fully tapping into this potential? What are the challenges, milestones, and future of water transportation in Lagos State? To give answers to this question, we have with us here the Managing Director of Lagferry, Abdoulbaq Ladi Balogun, and we will be discussing the topic, water transportation patronage in Lagos. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you so much for having me.
So what is the current state of water transportation in Lagos State, and how has it contributed to easing traffic congestion on the road?
Oh, thank you so much. So, you asked the question on how are we tapping into the potential of the waterway in Lagos State. I can assure you, going by all the evidences about that Lagos State government is doing everything humanly possible to tap into that. We are currently tapping into the potential. Are we there yet? No. But we are doing everything humanly possible in terms of steady investment, in providing infrastructure, and also equipping the manpower to ensure that we have safe, navigable pathway on the waterway. You see, water transportation is just an aspect of the blue economy. And the blue economy is $1.7 trillion globally annually. So a very intentional government, that want to grow its economy will not go without tapping into that huge resources. That's why the federal government has to create a stand-alone ministry for the blue economy because of the, in fact, it's the next oil. For those countries that are already using tapping into the water resources is their own oil. For us, we are yet together, but we are moving gradually to that. So Lagos State government, particularly this governor, is blessed with the wisdom and the vision to look around and see that with the water abundant around us, what are we going to do about it? And we have a growing population that is growing geometrically, 20 million plus, So are you going to rely on a single mode of transportation? The answer is no, unless you want to have want to bequeath a chaotic scene, to the next generation. But for us to have what we call a sustainable transportation system, we have to have a kind of interconnection of the multimodal options. So that's why today we have the rail line and we have the blue line, and that's for the rail services. We have the BRT system, and of course we have all this lag ride and also. So that's for the road. For the water transportation, this government is very, very methodical in its approach. You see, before now, we used to have Lagos State Ferry Service from the days of Baba Jakon, even before the voting, because actually Lagos State Ferry Corporation was founded in 1923 by the colonial government. Yeah, during this time of the city council. Yeah. So until when we have the first civilian governor of Lagos State, Lateef Jakonde, who actually gave us what we have in Maitutu today in 1980 and Elegbata in Lagos Island. So that's what led to the connection between Badagry and Lagos Central then. So a lot of people used to travel by water. There's a boat they popularly called Baba Kekere and Jubilee, for those those times, yeah.
We remember. We oldies, we remember.
So now, what we have done, or what Lagos State government have done, is to have a regulatory body for the water transport, inland water transportation, and commercial body. So Lagos State Waterways Authority came up in 2008, and we have reinvigorated Lagos State Ferry Service to handle the commercial end of the operation. So that's what led to a brand new, reinvigorated Lagos State Ferry Services that you're having today.
You've talked about, everything, government has done,
Not yet. I've not told you anything yet.
So you've talked
I'm
about
just coming there.
About the history
Yes,
of water transportation in Lagos. But, since water transportation is meant to be an option to reduce congestion on our roads, many Lagosians are still hesitant, in using this water transportation. I'd like to know what your or what your department or what your office is doing, to make waterways a mainstream option for commuters.
It is actually the main option for some people who are devoted their time to study the trend of public transportation in the state.
Okay.
This is a mega city. We all know that. And part of the factor that, categorizes a mega city is your public transportation system. So, for instance, in Ikorodu today, Monday morning, today Ikorodu morning, we transported close to 3,000 people from Ikorodu to other parts of the state.
Does this just happen on Mondays? Or
No, I'm just telling you,
okay.
Like
a working day.
The peak, okay.
Any working day, that's how it is. So when you get to Ikorodu terminal, Ipakoro terminal, for instance, actually there are 4 terminals in Ikorodu for you to know the kind of how they have embraced the water transportation system.
Okay.
We have one in Ibese. We have one in Igbogo Bayeko, that's Bayeko Jetty, and we also have in Majido.
Okay.
And the mother of all in Ikorodu is Ipakoro terminal.
Ipakoro, yeah.
So when you get to Ipakoro terminal, you will see that the car park facility is filled to the brim. So people have taken up that option. Let me take my car from my house, drop it at the terminal, then on board a boat to my destination. For some people, they choose the option of the first mile buses right from their home to the terminal.
Okay.
So when the bus drop them, they come onto the ferry and they get to their destination. You see, there are 3 things that they have recognized, and that's what we are preaching, we are advocating to every Lagosian to see. One thing is your health. Going by water transportation improves your health drastically. The study shows that. Number 2 is your productivity. When you travel by water, you are away from all this hustle and bustling of the road, the carbon emission and whatever. So you get to your place refreshed.
Okay, I remember the Super Eagles
Exactly.
that traveled from
yes, the players told us. The players themselves, the Super Eagles told us themselves that he hated their productivity on the field of play.
True.
And we came back with a win from the Republic of Benin. So these are the things that people... And the number 3, which is very, very essential, is your time. You can never buy your time. So a journey of 27 kilometers, that is from Ikorodu to CMS Marina, which you will take on the road for minimum of 1 hour, is going to take you 25 minutes by waterway. So a lot of people that have seen the possibilities, they've seen the benefit and the advantages of water transportation, they have dropped the options of the road. Because they've seen it, they've experienced it.
Okay.
So we are now appealing to majority of the people that are still using the... For me, if I'm going anywhere that's that has a waterway path, I will go by water.
Okay.
Because I've been there, I saw it, I am seeing it daily. I've seen the improvement, and that's why we say that Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu is very, very intentional when he said he is divesting, the public mode of transportation away from the road, onto the waterway and the rail. Because when we started out in 2019, when the Mr. Governor came in the first tenure, we picked five strategic routes, which we're going to be plying. Because these places are very endemic when it comes to traffic gridlock. So, it's okay. Third Milan Bridge, that's why we use Bariga Jetty, Ikorodu Jetty, CMS, and Ebutero. And Falomo. Yes. Now, we look at Lekki Ekpe Expressway. Okay. Let's start from Aja, Badore Terminal, down to 5 Kanri Terminal, in the Falomo Ikoyi, to CMS Marina. It helped a lot. Apapa, Oshodi Expressway. So we started with the route, Mile 2, onto Badagry, Mile 2, onto Apapa, Mile 2, onto Lagos Island, maybe Ebutero or CMS Marina or 5 Kanri Terminal in Ikoyi. So these were the places that we chose to start with. But we keep evolving with the assistance and support of Mr. Governor. As of today, Lagos State Ferry Services is operating from 17 terminals and jetty.
Wow.
When I say terminals and jetty, yes, terminal and jetty, standard, world class. All these jetties were not there, so they are being provided for by Mr. Governor. And he keep improving on it. Some of them are upgrade, you know, from the lower standard to a higher standard that we have today. And now the route we are operating from is 27. Because we want to sustainably, you know, operate on the waterway so that we're going to keep this thing running for now. Then from then, we hand over to the next generation.
Okay, you've spoken extensively about the people who have seen the
Benefits.
Now, there are other people who do not understand what you have just said. So how do you also convince them, or what are the safety measures that are in place to assure them that when they come on board, they are secure? And then in case of emergencies, how is Lagferry prepared?
Thank you so much. At the core of our operation is the standard operation procedure. The number one factor that we keep to mind that we always operate with is safety. In all aspects of our operation, all our equipment, all our assets, even our personnel. The paramount thing that we look out for at each stage of operation, each day of operation is safety. So the statistics are out there. How many people have we transported so far? When we started operation, February 6, 2020 to today.
Till today.
How many accidents have we had on the waterway? None. Do we have incidents yet that we recorded some incidents?
I was going to say there were some recorded
Let's get something clear.
Okay.
This is Lagos State Ferry Services. There are other boat ferry operators, commercial boat operators as well. Not only Lagferry.
Lagferry.
Yes,
True.
we are all in the same industry. We are all in the same field. We are all putting out our boats. We are all transporting people and goods everywhere within the inland waterway of Lagos State. Yes, we recorded some accident by some other operators.
True.
We had some incident, that's Lagos State Ferry Service. But because of the measures we have put in place, we never recorded any losses whatsoever.
Yeah.
No fatality, no casualty whatsoever. We had insurance in place that cover our assets, our boats. We had insurance in place, and the first of its kind in this country by any public transport company to have insurance for the passenger. This is intra-city, it's not intercity. Anywhere you are going in Lagos State on the waterway with Lagos State Ferry Services, you have insurance cover in case of death or accident. We had on one occasion we lost 2 boats to fire. Of course, we got indemnity for our insurance company. So these are the things that we are preaching. When the government set up Lagos State Ferry Services, it's not as if we are coming to own the space, you know, and authorize everybody. No, we're actually demonstrating the enabling environment that Mr. Governor is creating for private sector to thrive, to operate, to come in and put in their investment. So Lagos State Ferry Services is actually setting the standard of how a public transportation company on the waterway should operate. So it's that template that we are creating that we are also taking to other private operators. See Lagferry, see the way Lagferry operate. We are not competing with any private operators at all. We are not competing with them. Lagos State is just giving the good. Lagosians, we have the waterway, and this is how we can use it. So he energized Lagos State Ferry Services and also ensure that Lagos State Waterways Authority is doing their utmost best when it comes to control, when it comes to safety, and when it comes to regulation. Because I know you mentioned about safety. So these statistics are there for the people. You have the insurance cover. It's one thing that will give you a confidence to come and ride on the boat. You know that when you're on board Lagferry, you are covered. That's one of the safety factors that we put in place. Another thing is your life jacket. There are life jackets and there are life jackets. Yes, I must confess. But for Lagos State Ferry, I told you that we are setting the standard. We have standard, world-class, international standard life jackets. You can find anywhere. What is the purpose of a life jacket? Life jacket is supposed to keep you afloat on the waterway in case of man overboard. That is when people fall into the water or there's any accident on the waterway. It's going to keep you minimum of 6 hours. It's going to keep you afloat for minimum of 6 hours. That's it.
Even though you can't swim.
Even though you can't swim.
So you will keep afloat.
You will keep afloat with your life jacket fastened.
Oh, okay.
Yes, for 6 hours. So these are the things that we are telling all our passengers. And that's why we keep recording high turnout, impressive ridership. You know, each month we keep progressing, and that's why Mr. Governor keeping giving us more boats so that to cater for the needs of our people.
Okay.
So when you get to our terminal, this is how it operates. Our SOP says that our regulator, we open the waterway by 6 a.m. in the morning.
Okay.
So when we get there, our engineers will come on board the boat.
Okay.
They're going to do what we call safe to sail check. Safe to sail check. So when they do, they will put on the checklist, they check everything is perfect. Okay, they certify that this boat is worthy to sail. Then we go to our customer service, who attend to the customers. So when the passengers are tripping in, with the use of your cowrie card, you don't need to pay cash at any of our terminal or jetty. You onboard the boat with your cowrie card. Of course, they're going to put you on the manifest. After you got yourself on the manifest with your contacts, next of kin and whatever, they give you a life jacket and you take a tally. So your tally will take you onto the boat. But your life jacket is on you even before you get onto the platform. So these are the safety checks that we put in place. At every of our terminal, apart from the customer service rep that are going to interface with you, you have a safety officer there. You have an engineer where we have our boats. You know, we call something arbor. Arbor is where we keep our boats overnight. So all our harbor, we have resident engineer there in case of any eventuality. Okay, on the waterway, you see, these are equipment running on engine. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
So on the waterway, our regulators, that is LASWA and NIWA, they have positioned their men, they call them guards, water guards, you know, some kilometers away from it, distance by distance on the waterway. So these people are there. In case of any eventuality, they are there to provide rescue.
They're like the water LASMA,
Exactly. And they also have patrol boats. Their patrol boats are always dispersed to every corner of the state on the waterway, you know, just to ensure, you know, and also, you know, a lot of things are happening. As they happen at the airport, happening at the garages, is also happening at our waterways terminal. So sometimes you see our people that has to do, you know, collaborating with NDLA for people that want to do some stuff on the waterway. So they cop it, they stop it, and they get them arrested and, you know, take them to NDLA or police people. So all these people are in place. All this equipment are in place. It's not for fancy that Mr. Governor is spending money making steady investment into the waterway and the water transport infrastructure. The safety boat is there. The utility boat is there. Even we have a water ambulance. Yes, we have a water ambulance that even serve the riverine community, not just for accident's sake. If they have any medical outreach in the riverine community, the water ambulance take our people, our ambulance personnel, fully stocked with all the medical appliances you can think of. And we have the ambulance personnel also on board. That will take them there. Okay.
Lagferry, you know, chose sustainability,
sustainable
sailing as your theme for 2025. I would like you to talk more on that.
Okay, thank you so much. You see, everything that we're doing, we have to be environmentally conscious. We have to be doing our operation, carrying out our operation with a mind that we are not going to destroy or harm the ecosystem. Okay. Where we are operating from, there are some living things. There are some living things, even non-living things, that has to do with our area of operation. That's the waterway. Okay. Outside the waterway, there's also some people that have some living things and non-living that we need to take care of. So in considering this fact, we ensure that we contribute to reduction of carbon emission through our operating system. That's why you see that each of our boats, the minimum horsepower of our engine is 200 horsepower. Because with 200 horsepower, you have less emission of carbon, either into the air or into the water. So with that, you ensure that there's sustainability of the water ecosystem. And you are operating with the highest environmental standard you can think of. So another way of creating a sustainability for our sailing experience is to ensure that everywhere in Lagos, because we need to say this for the sake of our viewers,
Yeah.
1/3 of Lagos landmass is covered by water.
True.
Meaning that out of 20 local governments in Lagos State, you can actually access 17 through waterways.
Okay.
So what are we going to do as an agency of Lagos State government entrusted with the responsibility of committing the people and the goods of business of Lagos on the waterway, is to ensure that we create access for every Lagosian. We don't leave any Lagosian behind. So part of the sustainability index is to ensure that people at Ikare, people at Ilado, people at Inagbe, people at Ogolonto, people at Ekpe, people at Agbowa Ekose, people at Majidun, people at Badagry, people at Akpa, all of them have access to water transportation system. And this is being done, apart from the watercraft and the personnel that is being operated by Lagos State Ferry Services, we have Lagos State Ministry of Waterfront Infrastructure providing infrastructure for us. And we also have the support of the Lagos State Waterways Authority when it comes to regulatory approval.
That's what.
One thing that people don't know is tomorrow now, Mr. Governor is going to commission some roads, couple of roads, Amuwo of Uriade area. You see it. But we also do road construction too on the waterway, but people don't see it. That's what we call dredging and channelization. Where you see the boat passing through on the waterway, it's actually their channel. It's created for them. Yes.
It's not that you just go anyhow.
No. Anywhere that you cannot go to, you will see a live boy, you will see a boy, red boy, that will tell you don't go this area. It's shallow.
Indicators.
Yes.
But the green
one shows that it's navigable. You can pass through this place. So all these are the investment of the Lagos State government to ensure that waterway becomes a reliable option and a reliable mode of transportation for Lagosians.
All right, still
just in tandem with what we have all over the world.
Still going back to one of the questions that I raised in my intro, are we tapping into this potential? Now let's talk about how Lagferry is contributing to tourism, the tourism industry in Lagos.
Oh, okay.
Thank you so much. This is an aspect I like talking about because we have developed a lot of strategic initiative, to get people to see the beauty of the waterway and to see the beauty of Lagos through the waterway. We come up with a lot of some of these ideas, breaking down into, segmented into, these are target orders for this, these are target orders, these are target orders. Just 2 days ago, just 48 hours ago, we had what we call Ignite Lagos 2.0. 2.0 signified that this is the second edition. So we had a successful first edition that led to the second edition, and we're actually preparing for the third edition. This is slated for January every year. It's a kind of welcome to New Year for the working class and the creative personnel, and also for Lagosians that are interested to come on the waterway. You see, it's different from when we were all clumped in a hall and we're doing some kind of social event. This one, you are sailing. As you are sailing, you are having fun. You are meeting new friends and you are networking. So it's a big experience for those people. In fact, on board was some people that had to wait. We had 30th December in Lagos. So we had some people, I just came back. I just got back rather.
IJGBs.
We had some of them that had to stay behind and say, okay, I want to experience this thing on the waterway. Because during the December period, we did a lot of transportation of these people from the terminals all over to beaches.
Beach houses.
Ilashe, Ikare, Ibeshe, Badagry, everywhere, Takwa Bay. Almost on daily basis during the middle of December to the last. So some of them actually waited behind to experience partying on the waterway, and they join us on the Ignite Lagos 2.0. All these things we're doing to showcase and demonstrate the beauty of Lagos and to tell the investment world that Lagos is ready for tourism via the waterway. That is for that. In February, St. Valentine's Day, we're going to invite you.
Okay.
It's actually meant for couples and the lovers, for adults only.
Okay.
We had the people, some of your media people who had already staged Valentine cruise on the boat. We have these big boats. It's the biggest of all our ferry.
What's the capacity?
300 people can go into that boat. We call it Adimo Orisha.
Adimo Orisha.
All our boats are branded and they have their identity. And that's the international IMO standard, IMO code. All your boats you must have a name to it, just like you do have your plate number. There must be a name to everybody in case of any identity or you want to, create a kind of definition or classes. So Adimo Orisha is the boat we use for 1, commercial cargo operation, 2, social events on the waterway. It's the same boat that we're going to use in February. And when we are getting into the summer, that's June, we have another one coming. That's when we do our musical concerts on the waterway. Last year we had Fuji Fusion Loriomi. We brought in A-list entertainers, the like of Pasuma, Atawewe, a lot of them.
You have a lot of activities.
Yes, yeah. So this time around, even we partner with the Ministry of Tourism, Art and Culture, because they need to put it in their tourism calendar for the year that this is taking place on the waterway. And this happened in June, July, or kickstarting the summer. This year is musical flow with water. Last year was Fuji Fusion Loriomi. So because we had to go cultural, we had to remember our heritage. That's why we use Fuji to kickstart it. Right. This time around, we're going to bring in Afrobeat and hip hop so that to make it, that's the appeal to the Gen Z.
It was not only
and
Gen
don't
Z.
forget, Mr. Governor has revived Lagos Boat Regatta. And Lagos State Ferry Service has a lot of role to play. We played a lot of role last year. We're going to do more this year. All this we're doing, in the creative, entertainment, and tourism sector.
Okay. Now, it's clear that water transportation is not just a solution to today's challenges, but also a key part of Lagos' sustainable future. Thank you very much, Mr. Abdoulbaq Ladi Balogun. He is the Managing Director, Lagos State Ferry Services, and we've been talking about water transportation patronage here in Lagos. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you so much for having me.
We'll go on a short break. When we come back, the conversation continues.